of what you've been feeling the last few days in the search for Summer. Can you just, let us know what you and your family are experiencing at this time?
We really appreciate that outpouring of love. We've never seen so many good people in one place. We just really appreciate everybody trying to help that they have, law enforcement and all these volunteers that are here. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. Just pray that God, in His awesome power, for His name's sake, will please let Summer be okay, and please come home.
I can't imagine how you've been feeling these past couple of days.
Yeah, it's been rough, but we believe in the resurrection. Never seen so many Christians in one place in my life. Like I say, that's pretty awesome to see that. And I just hope God in His mercies will deliver someone home to us.
Pretty unlikely for something for her to do to walk off like that.
Yeah, she wouldn't do that. We even had one of our neighbors say they pulled up in the driveway and she ran to the door. So we warn her all the time. There's bears and other things that we try to warn our kids about all these things all the time.
And can you tell us a little bit, what Summer was doing that afternoon or that evening?
She was planting flowers with her mother and her grandmother, and she wanted to go into the house. So my wife watched her go into the door, and she went into the house, and the boys were on the internet, of course, and she wanted to go downstairs and play with her toys. So when her mother come in, she says, "Where's Summer?" She went down in the basement. She didn't answer, so she went down there, and she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked, and we haven't seen her since.
And so then the boys, just when she walked in the house, what about time was that?
I'm not sure. 5:36. I'm not sure.
Not knowing what happened, do you have any kind of a gut feeling about it? Do you have any kind of instinct feeling about it?
I wish I did. Some bad person grabbed her, but we have no idea. The FBI and the police have covered every single base, everything that anybody can think of, they've covered.
What would you say to people, as you're searching, what are you asking from other people? I know there's so many prayers coming out right now. Is there anything else you want to ask of the community and the public?
I just want to thank everybody for the outpouring of love. That's all.
Is there anything that you'd like to add that maybe we didn't ask you, or?
Not that I can think of, sir.
Have they told you about what they might be trying to do today specifically? Or?
They're still searching. They're doing everything they can. They're doing every single thing they can. We've tried to, we try to go to them with other leads and stuff. And they're like, we've already checked all that out. The sex offenders, they've checked all them. Anything that we can cover, they've already covered almost probably every base that they can. We're trying to think and beat our brains out. They've covered everything that we can think of already.
Are they asking anything of you other than just people that you might suspect or, situations you might suspect?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm at work all the time. Candus was on one side of the house when she got gone. Not even 50, 60 feet away. We know she wouldn't leave the property. There's no way she would do that.
Have you ever seen anyone in the neighborhood that doesn't belong?
Well, there are, people that come through there looking for drugs in the area, and that's probably with any place, but no. They've checked all them things out too. They've got a hold of everybody. They've tracked everybody down that they possibly can. They've covered all the bases that they can.
Are you all from this area?
I'm originally from Utah, but I come out here to help my mother, and I've been here on and off for the past 25 years or 30 years or 40, I don't know, but yeah.
And 110 Vigil Road off of Beach Creek should be the first residence on your right, reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her, they've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
10 for 1 Ramble.
And 110.
10 for House Mesa. 3035, I'll be around as well. And 4. 29 cents, go ahead, so far. Rescue. Fire, police, for search. You say when you got the original call that mom went on a run, when you came back, that daughter was gone?
And 4, that's what the father advised. He's at work about an hour away, trying to make his way home.
10 4.
try to contact Candus.
Let 302 know, and I think he's going to let rescue make that determination.
302 has been notified. He also wanted me to just remind you to be sure check the house camper, even if they said they've already had.
Hawkins County Rescue Squad, all members, mutual aid request, search and rescue with Churchill Rescue Squad. Staging area is going to be at Mount Carmel Baptist Church on Beach Creek. Hawkins County Rescue Squad, all members, mutual aid request from Churchill Rescue on a search and rescue. Staging area is going to be at Mount Carmel Baptist Church on Beach Creek. Also requesting a respond with six-wheeler and command trailer. First page 1911.
Members joined the impromptu prayer vigil, some lighting candles and others kneeling in prayer. Summer's dad, Donald Wells, also joined.
She loves a lot of people, and a lot of people love her. We really appreciate what they've done. There's hundreds of people out there, and they're trying their best to find her, and we really appreciate them very much.
He recalled the moment of terror he found out his daughter was missing.
And I come from work and drove home as fast as I possibly could, and drove to the bottom of our property, and I seen my boys here walking around and my neighbors all looking and searching, and I knew right then that she was gone. But she don't never leave the property, by herself anyway.
And the search for Summer continues.
We pray that Summer is found safe. We pray for the family, for comfort for them to know that God is in control, and we also pray for all of the men and women who are working so hard to find her, find out anything they can, and be with them and keep them safe as they continue to search.
I think it's really tough on all the people out here that are missing Father's Day, and it's making them a little bit edgy, and we're a little bit edgy. My wife is really edgy, and it's getting tougher, I think, for everybody.
Since Summer went missing Tuesday night, Don Wells says the Department of Children's Services has helped their family work through the trauma, but he says Summer's brothers are not doing too well.
They're kind of fighting more than usual and stuff, and they got into it first thing this morning, and the team come up running up the hill. They heard screams, and so I've been trying to keep it down.
Summer's siblings aren't the only ones struggling. Her father tells me her mother is also worried about the 5-year-old little girl.
She'd be frantic. I mean, she's having a hard time, and she'll be okay for a little bit, and then she's up and down.
This Father's Day, Wells tells me his worst fear has been realized.
Do you think at this point that she is still alive?
I really don't know. Hopefully, yes. Depending on how bad or what's going on with her. I mean, there's always hope.
I would be interested in knowing what happened that day. I know it's going to be hard for me to have to relive it.
Well, sir, I was at work, so but from what my wife has told me and stuff, her and her mother and Summer were planting flowers by her grandma's trailer, which is about 20 feet from the house there, real close to the house. And Summer all of a sudden said, "Mom, I want to go in the house." So she said, "Fine." And her brothers were in there watching YouTube. And so she watched her walk in the door and went in there. And then she went in there, and her brother said that she was going to go downstairs and play with her toys. So she went downstairs, and then Mom come in and says, "Where's Summer?" Well, she's downstairs playing with her toys. And she had they hollered for her, and there was no answer. So she went downstairs, and she was nowhere to be found. She went out the basement door. The door was unlocked. But she's never left there. She might be on the other side of the house, because I went out there before and called for her. She come out from behind the house, because she just has to be outside. She's an outside type of person, But she was gone, buddy. And my wife called me, and I said, "Hang up for me and call 911 right now." And I was at work, and I called 911, threw all my tools that I could in the vehicle, and from Jonesboro, I come out. I made it out here before anybody, because I was freaking out, And when I got home, I drove to the bottom property, and I realized that all my neighbors and stuff were combing the woods looking for her, and I realized right then and there that she was not there. I knew right then and there that she was gone. I just, because she would never leave there on her own. Somebody had taken her out.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is she capable of going through? They've covered miles of area to search.
No, she would never leave, because for one thing, we have bears and wild dogs, and we got druggies that you know, or come around, look at other people's houses and stuff, you know, all hours of the night. But this was like at 5:30 in the evening, you know, which makes me think, you know, someone was laying in wait. I've heard somebody say that these people track kids down on Facebook and find them, and, you know, I've heard that story. I mean, I don't know, but all I know is she's definitely not anywhere around there. I think somebody's abducted her and took her out of the area.
Wow. Well, have you noticed anybody suspicious?
No, and, you know, and they've done such a good job. They followed every single lead possible. They have tracked down all kinds of people. Yeah, they've tracked down everybody. They even, you know, had me in there, you know, lie detector test on 9 yards.
They have to rule out every possibility.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so it didn't bother me to do it whatsoever. But I understand that. And a lot of times the parents are responsible. You know,
it's the recent history that's been the case, or not a family member.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. But you know, we don't associate with all them people. We try to associate with church people and stuff like that. You know, and Summers has got a lot of friends in church. They just love her to death. You know.
Where do y'all go to?
Seventh-day Adventist, right across the street from Walmart, St. Kingsport.
Oh.
Yeah, we was going to the Baptist church, you know, but when I found out the true Sabbath on Saturday, I wanted to go to a Saturday going church, so I thought I'd go check them out one time, and we've been there ever since.
Oh, wow. What have you all been doing while this has all been going on?
Just trying to cope. Just trying to cope with everything.
Yeah.
Talking to the police. I can't be alone right now for some reason, and so if I have to, I'll go down there and talk to the police and just hang out with them, you know, because I just can't be alone right now. I don't know. You know.
How are Summer's brothers doing?
They're coping with it better than me and their mother are. I don't understand that, but I mean, when they really think about it, they're upset, but they're coping with it way better. Especially the youngest one. It's like I don't know. It's weird to me, but
maybe it doesn't seem real to them.
Yeah. But me, you know, the most I've done is watch the news a little bit. I can't focus on nothing. You know.
What have you all been doing while this has all been going on?
Just trying to cope. Just trying to cope with everything.
Yeah.
Talking to the police. I can't be alone right now for some reason, and so if I have to, I'll go down there and talk to the police and just hang out with them, you know, because I just can't be alone right now. I don't know. You know.
How are Summer's brothers doing?
They're coping with it better than me and their mother are. I don't understand that, but I mean, when they really think about it, they're upset, but they're coping with it way better. Especially the youngest one. It's like I don't know. It's weird to me, but
maybe it doesn't seem real to them.
Yeah. But me, you know, the most I've done is watch the news a little bit. I can't focus on nothing. You know, originally I'm from Utah, and I met my wife in Arkansas, and we come out here to help my mother because she got sick, and then she ended up dying from I can't remember what it's called, but anyways, but she left us that property, and we've been there ever since.
Okay.
We've made Tennessee our home. There's a lot of good people here.
When did y'all move here?
Well, about 13 years ago from Arkansas. I was about to help my mother because she was in need.
So your kids, this has been their only home then? They're
yes, sir.
Born and raised.
Yes, sir. Well, except for my oldest one, he was born in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the rest, I think, the rest were all born here. Yes.
And does your wife have a Wisconsin connection?
Yes. Well, her sister, my wife's sister, come up missing. Like I don't remember how many years ago it was, but they never found no trace of her either.
Where was that?
I don't know. I really don't know. I never pay attention to any of that part of it.
Yeah. Do you know where she grew up in Wisconsin?
I sure don't. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I have a criminal history. I do. You know, when I was in Utah, when I was younger, you know, but I've turned my life around. Doing my best to be a commandment keeper. You know, for sure. Okay. Me and myself, they can do whatever they want to me as long as my kids are safe. You know, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what is your plan now? I mean, what is your outlook?
Well, my only plan now is just no matter what happens, you know, either way, I'm stay in church, be a commandment keeper and wait for the resurrection day, buddy.
Yeah.
That's all we can all do, you know.
Do you have hope for Summer being found?
Well, I have hope, but, you know, statistically speaking, or looking at it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A tough thing to think about.
Well, yeah, of course, you know, I'd feel for anybody in that position. I'm sure you would too, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, any kid that's being tortured or hurt in any way, you know, and missing their parents and their good friends in church and stuff like that, you know, just unimaginable what she's going through.
Yeah.
So the only thing I pray for is for peace for her somehow. I wish she could have got to know Jesus better or something, but she's so young, she don't know what all that stuff means in church, you know. You know, but
I don't think God holds that against children.
Oh no, not at all. I just wish she had peace of mind, that's all.
Yeah. Do you have any hope that this is all going to end well?
I have hope, buddy, but you know, you looked at the statistics of it all, you know. I mean, through our church and other churches, the worldwide prayer, you know, is going on for her. So, plus all the law enforcement agents that are praying and everybody, you know. We're just hoping that God will turn it around, you know, somehow, some miraculous way, but, you know.
Okay. All right, well, I know I'm taking up a lot of your time, and I really appreciate your time.
You're fine, buddy. Thank you so much.
Take care, and I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for your family.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you. We still got our God, and we still, I mean, you know what I mean? He's got to put our faith and trust in Him. He's the only one that knows where she's at.
Right. Well, I guess I just wanted to ask a couple of quick questions about, since we last spoke, have there been any new developments or any changes in
No, not at all.
And I saw where Friday night after sundown they called everybody back.
Yeah, there was some sort of tip or something that we seen, you know, blue lights up and down Beach Creek, and the helicopter flew till like 4 in the morning, looking around, you know. So we was up till 4 in the morning, being hopeful that they, you know, find something, but there's nothing.
Yeah.
My personal opinion is it's maybe some human trafficking ring seen her on Facebook and tracked her down, like some kind of, you know, that somebody is taken out of the area, and I don't know whether it's human trafficking ring or what or who, but I mean, I knew from the first day she wasn't in the area.
Right.
You know.
Well, did you guys go to church on Saturday?
Yes, sir.
What was that like? Did you guys? I mean, this is the first time you've been back since this happened.
Yeah, when we first, you know, we got there at 9 o'clock, and they had a vigil for Summer, and they had all kind of pictures up on the screen, and you know, when Summer run around that whole church and visited everybody, and so when we first went in there, we both broke down, of course. Me and my wife broke down, and we had to go outside. But they've been very supportive, you know, of course, and everybody has. Law enforcement's been very supportive and very good to us. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was just missing Summer. I wish she could be there.
Yeah.
The thoughts of her not being able to be there with us and with the people that she loves so much, it was heartbreaking. Right. You know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're fine. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, I was just going to see. One thing I neglected to ask you last time we spoke was just, can you tell me a little bit about Summer? What kind of a child is she? What is she like?
Well, I have a video, and it's on TikTok. The last video that my wife made of her, and she's got a couple more. And I'd really like to share them with the public. I mean, but I don't know how to do that. Yeah.
You could. Are we allowed to go up to your house now?
No, but you know, I could get her maybe to meet you at the church, but she don't want to do no interviews because everybody's turning this into, you know, I don't know if you guys have been reading Facebook, stuff like that, but there's some pretty negative stuff on there. And they're calling her the Boswell something. I can't remember what it was exactly, but that's pretty bad.
I guess, yeah, that's another thing I was going to ask you is and I don't think that the media has been disrespectful, and I have tried not to be. But I know that in this age of social media, which we're probably close to the same age, and we didn't grow up like this, but in this age of social media, everybody can get online and say anything they want. And I was just wondering how that has affected you and your family. Are you trying to stay away from it, or have you read it?
My wife can't help us to be on there because she's looking for clues.
Yeah.
She can't help it. Right. But this negativity, you know, is tearing her apart, and that's why she don't want to do any interviews, because she's afraid they lash out on her even more.
Yeah. I don't follow it as close as I should. What kind of things are they saying?
They're calling her I can't remember, the Boswell something, but I can't remember what it was. You know, they're comparing her to that, and just all she's having a hard time. She's up and down, and then, I mean, yeah, she really is. She needs some support, and of course, they're not. Our church members try to come up there, and they're just not letting anybody up there.
Right. And I guess you guys are. I don't know what that road looks like, but if it's anything like where I grew up, it's pretty spread out up a holler. Not a lot of close neighbors to talk to.
They've been all through there with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah.
Several times over. She's not in the area.
Yeah. I just can't imagine who would be bold enough to go up a holler, a blind holler that, unless they had done some research or something and knew what they were looking for.
No.
And then they have to time it right.
Yeah.
It just seems, it's hard to believe that something like that could happen.
It would be someone pretty desperate for money or whatever, or I don't know what their angle is, but yeah, I mean, it would be pretty desperate.
Well, I guess, how are the kids doing? How are your sons doing?
Someone pretty desperate for money or whatever, or I don't know what their angle is, but yeah, I mean, it would be pretty desperate.
Well, I guess, how are the kids doing? How are your sons doing?
It seems like they handle it more, better, for some odd reason that I don't understand. My oldest boy, though, he'll stop from time to time and say he misses his sister, stuff, but, your mind has a way of forgetting every now and then. I find myself doing it too. Every now and then but then it comes like flooding all back, of course,
Yeah.
I might get away from it for about 15, 20 seconds, but it'll all come back. That's the first thought on my mind when I wake up.
Well, do you remember what your last memory was of summer, what you all were doing?
Probably the night before, she wanted to twirl. She wanted me to, I just hold her my hand while she twirled. Because that's what she considered herself a ballerina or a princess kind of thing, 5 years old.
Yeah. She likes to dance. I saw that video of her dancing in the rain. That was real cute.
That's the video I was wanting to get out. She has, if at all possible.
Okay.
I'd like everybody to see that.
Are you working today?
I'm trying to. I'm here talking with my employers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see how you could. I wouldn't be able to work under these circumstances. It's too much.
Yeah, it is. It's too much, but I'm just trying to have hope and faith in God that He knows all things and that He will protect her. Is my hope and prayer.
Yeah.
Wherever she's at, and that He will turn it all around someday. To glorify His name. That's what my prayer is. I mean, Daniel was led into captivity, and I don't know. He trusted in God the whole way, all the way through it all. Even to the point of being put into the fiery furnace. Right? He was willing to do that for his God, and that's the only thing I can, lean to is people like him. And maybe she's got enough experience in the church that she'll never forget it, and maybe that will lead her back home someday. That's my prayer.
Was there anything that was said at church or any kind of fellowship that gave you a little bit of comfort on Saturday?
Oh yeah, all kind of stuff like that. Yes, sir. I mean, I can't remember specifically, but just I don't know, just having good people there for you. It's a comfort. People willing to talk to you. That's the main thing.
Right.
All I can do is put it in God's hands.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess that's all I was going to ask you about, unless there's something else that you wanted the public to know about what's going on.
No, just that.
Does your family need anything? Because I know it's probably hard for you to get out and get necessities and stuff.
No, we are absolutely fine as far as that goes. Everybody takes the searchers and the police, all kind of stuff, and they've been bringing us a lot of that stuff to our house. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. They've been really good. Really good. Just appreciate everybody for their efforts. That's all I really do. Because I know they're trying hard.
Did they really ramped it up this weekend, didn't they? They brought in a lot more people.
Yeah, and they're not stopping. They're not stopping. But I just, feel that she's not in the area, and they know that. But they still have to search.
I think, maybe they could find a clue or something too of who was out there. That might be another.
Yeah, they're still looking for 2 more people of interest that have been through there.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What kind of people are those?
I have no idea for sure. I mean, and a lot of this might be speculation because I tried to ask them about it, and they just say we're looking into it. And they won't give them any information to higher ups, and I can't. I try to help and everything, and I can't do nothing that they ain't doing already.
Right. Okay. Well, I continue to pray for you, and my wife prays for you. We know this has got to be the most horrible time. just unimaginable.
There's been some subjects that I've been trying to sidestep because I just didn't feel like it was appropriate. But I think the TV news has already gone there, so I wanted to give you an opportunity to give your side of the story and explain. You know, there's the situation that occurred in October, the domestic arrest, and then the order of protection that your wife filed, which she dismissed. I saw that. But, yeah. Would you like to address that and tell me from, you know, what happened there?
Well, I don't know. I would want to, but I mean, my intention.
You didn't plead to the domestic stuff. You pled to the possession of a gun while intoxicated. So
yeah.
The domestic stuff.
I mean, I've kept a black powder gun, you know, the whole time I've been here because we do have bears, and I thought if there was an emergency situation, or one of my kids were being hurt or something, I would have quick access to it being locked up in my truck.
Right.
You know, and I just forgot about the part that you can't have it in your vehicle. You know, I can have one in my home, but not in my vehicle, and I just that part kind of slipped my mind, you know.
I mean, and I wouldn't even ask you about this, but it's already out there now, and that's why I felt, you know, now's the time to maybe broach the subject, because if you don't address it, it's just going to get worse. Speculation is just going to get worse. The report pretty much states from the police perspective what happened. Is that pretty much how it happened from your point of view also?
And what's that?
I guess there was like there was a accusation.
Well, my wife was trying to make me jealous so I'd come back, and it worked very well. So yeah, I come across the country as fast as that little truck would go. You know, I wanted to go to Utah, and I had a job, pretty good job there, working in Park City and everything, and I wanted to move my family out there and sell the property, but I'm not the smartest guy in the world, and I've done everything the long way and everything. And plus the cost of living in Utah is so sky high that it's just unbelievable. You can't even hardly find a house. When you do, it's so expensive. It's just unreal. I was glad to get back to Tennessee anyway. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happened out there. I was attacked in so many ways, you know, like Satan himself was attacking me. And I'm really trying hard to be a Christian, you know, like stuff. So I got attacked in a lot of ways. And, so I was actually glad to get back.
So she wanted you to come home and was trying to
okay. Exactly. You know,
but there was kind of a confrontation, though, that, you know, when the police get involved, and, you know, it's up to the next level, I guess you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of the things, you know.
And
she thought I was out there at Utah, and I was at my sister's house, and she was having a party, and I was trying to tell her that I was at my sister's house at this party, and me and my son, Josie, was getting some food, and I told her I need to go, and what I was trying to tell her was I need to go get in bed so I could drive to Park City that morning, because there was all kind of work out there, you know, and they give me a good job out there, and what she heard was something totally different, where we are partying and getting drunk or whatever, and she heard Lynn's voice in the background. She heard I got to go so I can continue partying is what she heard.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the case. And I was, you know, and I didn't elaborate a whole lot to her. So she thought, she was thinking the worst. But, you know, actually I was just trying to get in bed where I could go to work. We was just getting some food and saying hello to my sister and everything like that, you know. But she thought it was something totally different, you know. And I understand that now. We didn't communicate as well as we should have, you know.
When I asked the sheriff about all this stuff, he said it was not relevant to the investigation. But now that you know it's all coming out, I wanted you to be able to clear the air before.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Before, you know, that there's going to be so much speculation, especially that order of protection. That was not. That wording was not good. It said she's fears for her safety, her mother's safety, and the children's safety.
Yeah, you know, there was so much confusion when I first got back. You know, she was still thinking on them same lines, and I didn't know anything about that until we was able to sit down and talk about every little thing that had happened. You know, then we started figuring out, and I was able to explain to her that wasn't the case. You know, and just like I'm telling you now, I mean, we discussed all this, and was like, well, what if we was both thinking in totally different directions? You know, and was able to figure it all out, and, you know, they had the order of protection. I mean, it was just a fight between me and her and her friends and her mother. And they knew I had the black powder pistol and my 12 box, so they used that against me.
How long have you been married?
You know, I'm not sure. It's been since Summer was a baby, I think.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's been so long ago. It was at a friend of mine's house, Mrs. Trent. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I'm not good with dates and everything like that.
When Summer was a baby, so probably 5 years or so. Well, here's another sticky one. That the situation with your oldest son. In his previous criminal history, his conviction as a sexual offender against children. That's a pretty big red flag, and I asked you about that the last time we spoke. Yeah.
Well, let me elaborate if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay, if here in Tennessee, say for instance, your boy or one of your kids, you know, is 17, and the one he's with, say he's 18 and she's 17 or something like that. Okay, in other states, especially like Utah, you're probably not going to ever get out of prison. But here in Tennessee, they look at there's got to be so many years difference between them. Okay, but in Arkansas where he was arrested, they don't care about that. But here in Tennessee, he would have never went to jail, and he would have got to raise his boy, and everything probably would have been fine. But in Arkansas, total different story. There's got to be a certain amount of years between them. And there was only 18 months, maybe a year, I don't know, between them.
Oh, was that a situation like she was like 16 or 17 and he was
like 18 or 19, and she was, it was only like 18 months difference.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That they had a baby. Look a lot worse then.
Yes, it does, and it's wrong. It is wrong. There's a lot of, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, see,
I'll even have him call you if you want me to, and he could probably explain it better to you.
Well,
he's a good kid.
When we spoke the first time, you said that you talked to him. Yeah. You said that you talked to him and that he was in Utah when this all happened.
No, they was in Arkansas.
Oh, he was in Arkansas when this all happened.
Yes, sir, and he done time in Arkansas State Prison.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, when Summer went. When Summer went.
Oh yeah, he's in Utah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think the police have already alluded to this, but there's no connection between him and what happened with Summer.
No way he would ever even think of something like this. When I first told him, he bawled like a little baby. My sisters all cried. And there's so many good Christian folks around here. I didn't even realize till this happened how many good people there are around here.
Well, do you want to talk about what happened to you in Utah? What your previous criminal history was?
I really don't want to talk about all that stuff. And Utah's a whole different ballgame than Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's the Mormon state. I call it the moron state. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. I know there's a lot of good Christians. There's Mormons that are good Christians that are trying to be good Christians. But the whole Mormon thing, I stick strictly with the Bible. So if I'm agree with the Bible, then and I'm not trying to put any Mormons down because I know there's a lot of good Christian folks in the Mormon Church, and I just don't believe the Book of Mormon.
Well, what was your conviction for?
I've had several charges over the years. I used to have. I don't know if I should elaborate on any of that, but
okay. It's your choice. I'm not gonna go.
It's not anything good. I never used to be. I wasn't really a Christian when I was younger, and I found God in prison. I started studying the Bible intently because I wanted to change, and that's when I got to know God and became a real trying hard to be a Christian. Of course, I'm backslid multiple times, but I'll never let it happen again. I promise you that.
Okay. Well, I'm only asking because I just want to give you an opportunity to clear the air, and I think it's
Christian. Of course, I'm backslid multiple times, but I'll never let it happen again. I promise you that.
Okay. Well, I'm only asking because I just want to give you an opportunity to clear the air, and I think it's as this goes longer and longer, the reporters are going to need more things to write about or do on their and so eventually this is going to come around. So I just wanted to give you a chance to get ahead of it. Head it off at the pass. I can understand how a person isn't the same person they were when they're in their 20s.
Right.
But it's gonna come out eventually the longer this goes on. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to get ahead of it. If you wanted to.
Okay.
And so this is your opportunity.
Okay.
Is that all? So is that all that you wanted to say about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right. And believe me, it don't give me no pleasure to talk about this because, as far as I'm concerned, you're the victim, your wife's the victim, your kids are the victims. But it's not going to this isn't going to be brushed over at this point, I don't think.
Right. No, not at all.
So I know that it's going to be discussed and going to be the topic of discussion.
Yeah, people can speculate all they want. That's fine. We just want our summer back. She was definitely, I consider it a great blessing from God. When I got her, and she was a daddy's girl. She wouldn't even go to her mother for the first year, and it just kind of broke her heart. But I've never seen anything like that in my life, and I never expected anything like that. And
there's always a connection between a father and a daughter that's special.
Yeah. I've just never seen nothing like this, and I don't know why she was like that exactly. But I mean, she's got her little friends too, younger boys that she wants to be with them all the time, and stuff. And I knew, someday she's gonna grow up and get married and go on, raise her own family. But now I just don't know I have no idea where she's at and who's got her.
I know it's a nightmare. And I didn't want to have to broach these subjects, but I knew that it's coming. It's coming eventually. You're going to be asked.
She has such a good, loving, kind heart. She's so loving. I mean, it's like God sent me an angel.
Well,
it hurts so bad.
Has there been any developments at home or in the search overnight, or
not a trace?
Yeah,
not a trace.
It's like a living nightmare.
Yes, sir. It is. It really is. Okay. The first couple of days, I kept thinking I might wake up and it would be a nightmare, but it is a living nightmare. It's a real nightmare.
Are you still working? Did you get back to work?
This is the second day I've been back to work and I ain't got much done at all. I just can't think. I can't concentrate. I don't know. I wish I wouldn't have even took on another house at this point, but I don't know. I just hope my bosses will be. I'm sure that they're sympathetic. I mean, I'm sure.
Did you see the someone had posted a reward for information?
I didn't.
A fellow from Kingsport. It should be online on the Kingsport Facebook page. You can find it. But a fellow from Kingsport has offered a $25,000 reward for anybody that provides information.
I thank him from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, whoever you are. Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I better let you get back to work tonight. I really appreciate you talking to me, and
I appreciate
it's
you.
not an easy subject. It's not an easy subject to discuss.
It's not, but thank you, sir. I really do.
All right.
Dear Lord God, all respect and love, and we thank you for everything, God. Just pray that you'll please forgive us our sins and help us carry on and let us all give our lives to you, God, in every way. Let me carry my cross from here on out, Lord. We thank you, God, for everything. In the name of Jesus Christ, please watch over Summer. She's been the light of my life for 5 years. I thank you for that, God. In the name of Jesus Christ, we thank you, Father. Amen.
We asked her if she would be willing to come on and make a statement regarding Summer. She said that she actually can't. She can't call on the phone because she only has Facebook text, and sometimes that doesn't even work right. We asked her about the boys. She said her boys are very happy, but hurt as well. They are scared of people right now, and she has to keep them safe. So you'll see what I tried to do is her answers are direct quotes from her. So, I mean, I put in all the misspelled words, all the, anything that was, a typo, anything like that. They're directly from her so that you guys would get the same answers that we had received. So let's see, we're going to try to get there we go. Okay. So we asked, would you like to clear up any rumors going around, or we can make a statement on your behalf? And then she stated, Kathy Bates, Muffy, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't mind Kathy Bates. It is what it is. So her answer is, for one, my children were never sad. They were always happy. They never went without food, clothes, or power, always had running water. They love to have fun, and they are my pride and joy. Me and my family, we have so much love for each other, but we try to give to others that don't have it. No, we're not rich in money and all that, but we are a loving family and try to treat others like we would like to be treated. I know my baby girl never left here on her own at all. My kids don't ever wander nowhere. She continued by saying, I was blessed with these 4 children, and never have they been sick except when my oldest had appendicitis, but that was the Holston Valley fault. So we asked, what about the rumors with H? She responds, H was a friend of mine's brother who I was trying to help, and because I wouldn't lie for her to a 12-year-old, she got mad at me and started talking crazy crap about me. He is only 15. I knew him since he was 11 years old. And then we asked a couple questions back to back. So did you purchase or give alcohol to H? And did Summer go underwater for a minute and H saved her? So her response was, and I put all this in here just for context because she says lies, no way. So we asked some clarifying questions because obviously there was 2 questions asked back to back and we needed to know which one was what. So giving H alcohol was a lie. She answers yes, a lie. Clarifying question, Summer went underwater for a minute and H saved her, and then she slept the whole ride home. She answers no, she didn't go underwater at all, and she didn't go to sleep until after we dropped him off at home. We asked, is H back with his dad? Answer, I don't know. So then Candus actually responded with a couple things back to back, and so you can see that I put continued because there was no questions in between. Candus says, bring Summer home is the most important thing in my life right now. My boys are too. I won't even let them outside now. She then continues, my Summer was my tail. She didn't go nowhere. I believe someone took her out of my yard. She was scared of the woods because we have always told them about the bears and snakes in the woods. She's always stayed by the house. She then continued, I just wanted my baby girl back so we can be a happy little family again. Oh, then we asked if she could clear up the rumors about Chris. As you know, we talked about this on Friday. There are 2 separate Chris's that a lot of people have confused with being the same Chris. So this would be Chris M that had previously lived at the address. So we asked if she could clear up the rumors about Chris M. She said, that's my cuz, and he had not been here since Summer was 5 months old. We asked, so he's not your mom's boyfriend? And she said, no, he's not not my mom boyfriend. That is her nephew. It's her brother's son. It was my Uncle Buck's kid. So people have stated he is a sex offender and he was living there and possibly took Summer. She answers, he got in trouble when he was 15. The girl lied and she said she was the same age, but come to find out she was only 12. So yeah, people have twisted shit. She continued, Summer being found is the most important thing right now. And I'll add really quick, just so you guys know, throughout this conversation, or conversations, I should say, because there's multiple conversations, she comments quite frequently in between with things like Summer being found is what's important. Pray for Summer. Please bring my daughter home. Please help find my daughter. I obviously did not put all of those in here because that would have taken a long time. So we asked, how is your mom? Her response was she's doing. We did ask a clarifying question after that is not, that I didn't get time to put into the slides. But there's a newer, I don't want to say rumor, there's a new speculation about something about a hospital and her going to the hospital, and there being like footage of somebody hugging somebody at a hospital or something along those lines. So we did ask a clarifying question after these were already created. And Melissa, can you answer what she said when asked how her mom was doing as a clarifying question instead of she's doing?
Yes, she said that she did take her mom to the hospital, to the ER that morning. Something with her knee, I believe it was. Oh, her mom's knee was messed up. She doesn't recall hugging anybody, and she doesn't know anything about a video, but Summer was with them that morning as well, too. She said she's hanging in there, but she does not recall hugging anyone, and yes, Summer was with me, and the boys were at home.
Okay. Go ahead. No, you're fine.
Oh, no, that's all she said.
Okay. And then we asked, like, has your mom left the state? Because that was another rumor that was going around. She said, my mother has not left, and she is still there at her home. Why didn't the boys go swimming that day? She says, my boys like to stay home and play video games. Asked, did you get mad at Summer for pulling flowers and sent her into the house? She said, I never sent her away. I was not mad at her for anything. Then we asked, did you have beef with anyone you think could take Summer? She says, no, I didn't have no beef with anyone except a 15-year-old girl that I wouldn't lie for. She was upset. And like I said, I added everything in here and I have no idea what this means with a capital ED. With her, she had a 12-year-old girlfriend, but she was 15, and I told the truth about it all. We did not ask any clarifying questions about this because a 15-year-old and 12-year-old that don't have anything to do with this case is none of our business at this time. So we did not go into that. So FYI, you guys, we don't have anything else on those 2 statements. Could someone enter your property and you wouldn't be able to see them when you were planting flowers? She said, yes, that is possible. It's a cul-de-sac, but she was with me and my mom planting flowers. How close are you to the road? She said, not too far. It's just up a hill, and she would have never wandered off of, but I'm sure she meant off. She says, how long from the time Summer went into, okay, so that's my typo. How long from the time Summer went into the house to the time you noticed she was gone? And then, and Candus replies with 2 minutes. And now, Melissa, if you can, we did ask some clarifying questions about this as well. Okay, yeah, so she clarified and said it was approximately 2 to 4 minutes. So then we asked, do you know why the dispatch call says you went for a walk run? She answered and said, I don't walk or run anywhere. We asked, did you call 911 or just Dawn? She said, I called the police and my husband did. We asked her, do you know anything about the red truck? She said, I don't know what truck that is or where it is. We asked, do you know who it belongs to? She said, no, I don't. And I think I might have just accidentally added that other question in there because we already asked that somewhere else. We asked about her mom. I think that might be when we were asking the second time. So we can go to the next slide. We said that there's a lot of speculation regarding Summer's shaved head. She said she wanted her head shaved because I shaved mine and her brother's because it gets too hot and we are tomboys. I'm not a girly girl. She continued by saying she liked it too. She felt free. She doesn't like her hair brushed. She continued again and said, please help bring my baby back home. She is missed very, very much. She inserted a prayer emoji, as much as we can. So pray as much as we can. We asked, are you allowed to look for her yet? She said, not yet that I know of. We asked, did they check the swimming hole? She said, I don't know. We asked her, what do you think happened? She said, I believe someone snuck up here and that's my typo, I think, because I think she actually said here, I believe someone snuck up here and grabbed her out my yard. And then she continued, that's what I feel. Any pictures of Summer from that day with the pink shirt so that we can post for people to see her outfit that day. She said, this it, but she didn't have the jacket on when she went missing. We asked, so you went to the grocery store after you dropped off H? She said, no, he was at the store with us. We asked, was H in the car during this pic? She says, no. She continued and said, sent you a video that my mom accidentally did. And then she continued with, you can see nobody in that seat but her. And then Leslie, we have the video uploaded. If you wouldn't mind, you can go ahead and play that.
She still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. Still got her arm up?
No.
Oh. That's what I was trying to catch.
Okay, Summer didn't go to sleep in the car until after they dropped off Hunter. When we asked her about that. Oh, this one's really tiny. You're really working my context today. So your mom went to the swimming hole too, because now we have this video that her mom accidentally took, and we didn't know that her mom was with her. There's been a ton of speculation that that it was only Summer, H, and Candus that went to the swimming hole. So now we clarify that it was Grandma Candus, Summer, Mom Candus, and H that were at the swimming hole. So let's see. So we said, so your mom went to the swimming hole too? She says, yes. We said, most thought it was only you, H, and Summer. She says, nope. So you and H were close? She says, H called me Aunt Candus and my mom, Grandma. What time was this video taken? The one that she had just sent us. She said, hold on, I'll look. And then she continued, it was June 15th at 3:09 p.m. We said, what time did you go swimming? She said 12:21. Of what the statement, it's a short statement. All she wanted to do was to ask everyone to pray for her daughter. She wanted to thank everyone for searching and helping find Summer. And she asked that everybody stop bashing her family and her and focus on finding Summer. We do have some more clarifying questions that we did ask after this was made. So I want to make sure that we don't forget to address those. And like I said, I'll put all those slides up. You guys will have access to all the questions. But we asked, so we found out about them being on the news, that they're going to be on the news tonight. That was one thing that she did let us know. So everybody can look for that.
And they asked her about the lie detector. She said that her and Don did take a lie detector test and they both passed.
Okay, if you guys can't hear Melissa, she said that she did ask her about the lie detector test, and she did, and she said that her and Dawn both took one and both passed. Oh, chasing truth, of course. Like this is, we're all. The whole point is to find Summer. I don't want to blame anybody or take anything away from what law enforcement's doing. I want the focus to be on helping find Summer. So,
right. About scent dogs and cadaver dogs, I asked if they were there. She confirmed that they were both there, and the only scent they did pick up was Summer. Her scent stopped at the driveway, and that's it. Nothing else.
That's a question that we could possibly ask Melissa is who told them that they did pass this lie detector? Like how were they informed that she actually passed?
I could ask. I didn't ask that. I just asked if she and Don took a test, and she told me yes, and they both passed.
Okay.
I can ask her if Ellie confirmed they passed or told them that.
Okay.
But she said, but she did reference saying we all passed.
I thought that was interesting too when she said that we all passed.
Maybe.
So who's all? Who else took them? Possibly
Grandma.
Samuel. Basically what we know of the timeline is that morning she took her mom, and Summer went along with, to the ER for we believe something about the knee. Correct? So
yes.
We know that they got to the watering hole, and I think I just said it. Now I can't remember the time myself. 12. What did I say? 12:21.
Yes.
12:21. So they started swimming at 12:21. They left the watering hole at approximately 2 p.m. Went to the grocery store, dropped off H at approximately 2:30, and then drove home. The photo, the video and photo of Summer sleeping is from 3:09.
Yes.
So they go home, they're planting flowers. We know they found Summer to be missing at approximately 5:30. They looked for her between 5:30 and 6. So that's not a firm time. Between 5:30 and 6, they noticed Summer was gone, and they went and looked for her themselves. She called Don. Don said, "Get off with me, call the police." And then he placed a call to 911, and she says that she also placed a call to 911.
A lot. I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off this yard by her swing. I feel in my heart that somebody has came up here and took her, has lured her away from here. Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch. And I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back. And I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone. I don't go on walks around here or runs because I'm scared of the bears and snakes and even the coyotes that are around here. Well, whoever has my daughter, I pray and hope that they have not harmed her and they bring her back to us safe and sound.
Go to the FBI, the police, and clear it up. I don't know, it seems kind of elusive.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck and I've never heard of it until just recently. But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves. And if you're not a suspect, at least come forward and say what you've seen. She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved like me and the boys did.
She tried to shave her head in the back and make it, I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control. So we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long, and she shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad. And but it didn't bother her at this point. Well, I knew right away that she was abducted. I knew that right away, and that's what I told them from the beginning. But they have to go through their, I forget the word.
Investigation.
They have to do one step at a time, I guess. But I'm sorry that they had to spend so many man hours in these woods and everything. I've seen them limping and everything else, and I feel for them. But I just wish there was a way that neighbors could search neighbors' houses, and then if they're not willing, get a search warrant or something. But there's just no way you can search every single house, in the eastern United States or whatever. But I wish there was a way. just thankful for the person or persons that's doing that, you know, out of love,
I
and
appreciate
trying to get information and trying to get her found. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts.
It means a lot.
And we thank everybody who's trying so hard and praying so hard. And she's an awesome young lady, and we just want her back. But, yeah, there's always going to be haters, you know, and you know, it's always going to be that way in this world. And we just want to focus on the good friends and Christian people that are trying to help us and praying for us and praying for Summer. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. And that's the kind of people we try to relate with and socialize with. So we don't know anything about, you know, no red truck, or we hardly know many of our neighbors. I mean, because we just try to be around good people. I mean, and we do have good people in this area. We found out since this has all happened. We got some real good neighbors and good folks everywhere. But
the most important thing is to bring Summer home safe. I'm sorry that you feel this way about us, but we love our children with everything we have. We've never went without, thanks to Summer's daddy and my husband. He's always provided for us and has worked as much as he could and can, and still is. And I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but that's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around, ever.
She loves to dance. She would always want me. She says, "Daddy, hold my
hand." And still is. And I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but that's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around, ever.
She loves to dance. She would always want me. She says, "Daddy, hold my hand so I can twirl," and she would just like to twirl and twirl and twirl until my arm got tired, you know. But and you know, I put out there that one of Summer's favorite songs was Godzilla, and they say, you know, and they're jumping all over me about past tense was, you know. Well, I'm sorry about that. It's just.
She also liked the song by New Breed. It was called House, My House. She sung that a lot of times when I play it on the TV. She loved to dance.
She liked to think of herself as a princess, and you know, and all that, like all young girls do. And
she loved Frozen. She loved to be that Elsa, and
I think she really loved to be in church because she felt a lot of love there. And I think you can't explain what that love is, but you feel it and you know it, you know, when you're young. And she felt that there, and she loved everybody in that church. Or she loves everybody in that church. I should rephrase that, because they'll tear that apart as past tense, and I apologize again for that. I hope she gets to come home, you know, and I hope she gets to be with our church family again.
Our best friend in that church was Robin. She loved her to death.
Yeah, she looked up to women that were...
She come to that church, she went looking for Robin. That was her favorite person.
Any woman that was professional, that
was pretty,
yeah,
beautiful.
She looked up to those kind of women. She, you know, they were, the word I'm looking for, I can't think of it, but she looked up to them. She'd give them a run for their money every day. She'd give them a run for their money, and there was times, you know, we'd be, you know, at our boys like, don't do this and don't do that. And next thing you know, a stick would come up and it'd just whop them, you know, and it'd be like, Summer, don't do that.
Summer was the boss of the family.
Yeah,
she
typical girl.
When they get out of line, she'd put them in line.
She'd do her best.
She loved to play in the mud and the water and swing on her swing and enjoy dirt.
When I run the lawnmower around, she would run behind me. When the boys run their bikes around, she, as fast as that little bike could go, she would be behind them running and keeping up with them, no problem. You know, she loved to run. She just loved to run, and she could pull herself up on that swing, her full body weight with her two hands, and she could do that. None of the other boys could do that, but she can.
Was she in school yet?
No, she's going this year.
This was supposed to be her first year.
She's been. We did all the what?
I took care of everything.
Yeah.
I had her already taken all of her shots and registered in the school ready for this year.
Yeah. I just never expected for anyone to get a hold of my heart like she has, because I try to guard my heart as much as I can, but she holds my heart in her little hands, and I love her with all my heart. I'd do anything to have her back.
little girl.
If there's any way, if you can find it in your heart to please release her somehow. I don't know how you might do that. I mean, 'cause you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure. But please find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting her go, and where we can get her back. And just please have mercy on her, and and us, and her brothers. And she's such a loving, good spirit. Please, please don't hurt her. Please let her come home. But my biggest fear is, her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all the time. That was her, unfortunately, her downfall. Because a lot of times the boys would be inside and we'd be like, "Where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? Go get Summer now." And that's happened over and over again. And we'd come out and she would always be close by, but we was always coming up. She had to be outside. She was an outdoor person. And
she loved to be outside.
Yep. And I'm so afraid that she's locked away. She's such a loving heart and everything, and I'm afraid that she won't be able to, I'm locked away where she can't be outside or play with a puppy or anything, love nature, and that's my greatest fear, that she's not able to do any of these things anymore, or that she could possibly, I don't want to think she's dead, but it's a possibility. I don't want to address all the negativity. I just want to focus on the positive, because it's so easy to get, lost in that negativity and stuff, and it's just not worth it. So I'm just, I appreciate y'all, the good things you say, and your prayers. That's awesome.
When my sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. I don't know all of what happened or what did happen, but I hope that they find her too and bring her home safely too.
Well, yeah, there's nothing. I mean, she disappeared without a trace. They haven't found anything, haven't found a body, nothing. And when you see cases like that, that's why I lose hope on Summer. I want to keep hope, but sometimes I lose hope.
Lose it.
And I think, well, maybe we won't never see her again, so I start thinking in past tense, sorry. But I'm trying to keep hope up. I'm trying to keep my prayers up and all that.
She still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch.
I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off this yard by her swing. I feel in my heart that somebody has came up here and took her and has lured her away from here.
The parents of missing 5-year-old Summer Wells saying they never thought she was in the woods near their home, but that they believe she was abducted. Search crews combing through nearly 5 square miles around the Wells home. Search crews combing through nearly 5 square miles around the Wells home.
I have to do one step at a time, I guess, but I'm sorry that they had to spend so many man hours in these woods and everything. I've seen them limping and everything else, and I feel for them.
Summer not the first girl to go missing in her family.
When my sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee.
And I feel for them.
Summer not the first girl to go missing in her family.
When my sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee.
And I feel for them.
Summer.
When my sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. I don't know all of what happened or what did happen, but I hope that they find her too.
When you see cases like that, that's why I lose hope on Summer. I want to keep hope, but sometimes I lose hope.
Lose it.
Fear beginning to spread through the Wells home as Summer remains missing.
And then it really bothers me to find out that we've had sex offenders living within 8 minutes of my house.
Keep a close watch on your kids.
Yes.
Don't let them out of your sight.
Summer's parents saying they wish they could search every structure in America if it could help lead to finding her.
Now that we know she's not in the woods anywhere, I wish we could focus on finding her. I don't know what, or I don't know.
We really miss her very much. She was the angel, our blessing, the love of our life. She's what made our world go around.
It's been 13 days since Candus Bly and Donald Wells last saw their 5-year-old daughter, Summer.
I'm just scared that somebody's hurting her, and there's nothing I can do about it, and it smothers me.
As the almost 2-week-long search through the rough terrain scales back, Summer's parents say they believe someone took their daughter.
Personally, I think someone came up here and grabbed her and ran down the hill.
I think so,
and
too.
threw her in a car and drove as far away as they could from this area.
I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off this yard by her swing. I feel in my heart that somebody has came up here and took her, has lured her away from here.
Around 6:30 in the evening on June 15th, her father called to report her missing, but he wasn't home yet from work.
Me and my mother and her were planting flowers, and we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers, and I said okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV, and I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back, and within 2 minutes I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom. I said, okay, and I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone.
Summer has 3 older brothers.
When they get out of line, she'd put them in line.
Her parents say she loves princesses, especially the movie Frozen, and to be outside.
Just to dance, she would always want me. She says, Daddy, hold my hand so I can twirl, and she would just like to twirl and twirl and twirl until my arm got tired.
She'd love to play in the mud and the water and swing on her swing and enjoy dirt.
Now, authorities are looking for the driver of a red Toyota Tacoma that was in the area around the time Summer went missing. That this person is a potential witness.
I've never seen this truck, and I've never heard of it until just recently. But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves. And if you're not a suspect, at least come forward and say what you've seen.
No one has been named a suspect, and authorities have not ruled Summer's disappearance as an abduction. But tonight, her parents have one plea.
Please find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting her go, and where we can get her back.
Please bring her back home.
Just let her come home, please.
We miss her so much. Her brothers are so devastated that they wake up every morning crying for their sister. And as a mother, it really hurts to see your other children crying.
Well, for the last few days, we have referred to Candus's mother as Candus Wells because that's what she went by on Facebook. But tonight she told me that her name is Candus Bly, and Bly is her maiden name.
2 weeks tomorrow, since we are told she called authorities. And you mentioned how she's really been reluctant to be interviewed until tonight. What do you think it was that changed that made her want to go and talk to you tonight?
I have spoken with her several times via social media. She actually ended up messaging my professional Facebook account. We have talked a few times there, and today I went up and was able to introduce myself to her. And she told me that she'd been reluctant just because of all of the backlash on social media. She said that she'd been reading the comments, but after speaking with her a couple times this evening, she said that she was finally ready for people to hear her side of the story.
And you had a chance to ask what I'm sure a lot of people were wondering about, why Summer's hair was so short, and both Summer's mother and father had comments about that.
They both told me that she had already cut her hair. They said it's something most little girls do. They get hold of the scissors and already cut her hair, and that they just decided to go ahead and shave it all off. It was just a little bit too difficult, is what they told me, to go ahead and style it that way. Her mother did tell me that she shaved her head as well to make Summer feel more comfortable, but that was why they told me her hair was a lot shorter than originally pictured.
Ansley Daniel, something that